week we are going to be doing a live stream. Yes, I know it's been quite a while since I have done a live stream on this channel, and I know it has been quite a while since I have uploaded anything on my channel. So I just decided now would probably be a good time to actually just sit back, relax, and talk to you all, and to let you know why I have not even posted anything for about a month now. And I know it's been quite a while since I've posted a lot, so then there's a good reason for that as to why I haven't done anything like that. But we'll do that once as we start playing one of my favorite games on the N64, and that is going to be the good old Banjo-Kazooie. And as you can see, we're getting a good rundown on the intro here. It's definitely one of the best intros to, get you started into the whole thing. And then when you get started into the whole intro, you actually are treated to this lovely surprise. Definitely one of the best opening montages you'll actually see for a video game ever. So if any of you are just tuning in as of right now and are watching this, then welcome. And I do have a lot that I have to say as to why I have not even, have not even said anything, or why I haven't even, did any content on this channel for quite a while. And I might as well go ahead and, open up a new tab and then let everybody know on Facebook and on social media with me, doing a live stream and all. And I hope a lot of you will stay tuned for me doing this live stream and continuing to enjoy the lovely streams that I'm doing. Actually, I think I need to go into the dashboard here and actually select it. And then when I'm selecting it, then I can actually get the word out that I'm actually doing the live stream. So yeah, I mean, it's been quite a while since I have done live stream and all, and I hope you all can bear with me doing a live stream, and we're gonna have ourselves a heck of a fun time. Not what I wanted, but actually, I think I need to... How in the world can I actually get the idea that I'm live streaming on here, because I'm not really seeing... And yeah, Silent Gamer, I hear you, man, because that when using a tablet like that, it's just, can't be the pits. Actually, I think I may need to go into the, because, when you're doing a live stream, I figured it would show up on your channel, because I want to get the word out that I'm actually live streaming at this moment in time. It'll probably show up eventually. But just continue enjoying the, what you see on the screen here with the, with all the gameplay in its lovely glory. And we'll get started, and I promise. Let's see here. Oh, you can hear Gruntilda laughing. Let's see if I can... I don't see any share options. Unless if I had to do it this way. Or I have to be in the events section. Nope, that's not it. Or maybe I just need to be in the watch section. Let me go back. View on watch page. Okay, here we are. That's where I need to be. So, hopefully you all can hear me just fine, and I hope there really isn't that bad of a lag on my end. But then again, YouTube is really not the best place to stream. If you want to stream anywhere good, then you definitely would want to go on the on Twitch or something. But anyway, go ahead and get the word out that I'm live streaming. We'll start here. Get a lot of people notified about this, and I think I'm gonna notify my Facebook feed too, and I think on Tumblr. So, if you have any questions, you can feel free to put them in the chat if you want to. Okay, so let me go to my my own page, get the word out, and then it should automatically update on Twitter as well. But I want to go to Tumblr too and put in the word. But yeah, just having to play Banjo-Kazooie again. When playing that game, it's you know, you played it for so long that when you get older, your memory starts to be all fuzzy because you are trying to remember everything. Like especially when you're getting to that one part at the end with what looks like a game show. Yeah, it's like when I was a kid, I always had to use a Nintendo Power player's guide of Banjo-Kazooie, and I had to write down the suggestions of what Gruntilda's sister would give me in order to get past some of those hard parts in the game show section. So, hopefully it won't be that much of an issue when I'm going through this game, but we'll see. But we'll see. I don't want to boost the page, I just want to publish it. Okay, here we go. Skip. Okay, so Tumblr. Oh, there goes Banjo, making that screen. Okay, so here we go. Okay. 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 Yeah, so just bear with me. I'm just finishing up on some notifications on my live stream, or just announcing that I'm doing. There we go. I'm sure a lot of people have some very fond memories of Banjo-Kazooie. I know I do. I just thought it was amazing when I first laid my eyes on it back in 1998. Let's see. Oh. There we go. Okay. Alright, so that takes care of some things that I just wanted to post. So hopefully that will help get the word out on me doing live streams and all, so... And with all that out of the way, said and done, I think we're at a point where I can go ahead and I can actually talk now. And we've gone through the opening intro quite a few times, so yeah, so enough dilly-dallying, so let's go ahead and get started here. And we'll go through the intro normal, and then once as we get started, then I will talk about why I haven't even done any content within the last month. And I do have a bit of an explanation to that as well. So I'm just canceling out, erasing my games and whatever, because I want to start a, clean, fresh slate. So let's just choose game 1, and then we'll just go from there. Yahoo! It's just when you're playing a game by Rare back during the days of the Nintendo 64, it's like you were in for a really big treat, and you could definitely see the attention to detail that they put into making their games on the system. Just that really high-quality class that they had. It's amazing. Ding pot by the bench. Who is the nicest looking wench? Why, it's Grunty any day. She really takes my breath away. Yep, we have Gruntilda right here, the main antagonist of the game, and she speaks in rhymes. You know, it's one of those things that you like about Rare games, is that the characters that they have in their games, the memorable characters, they usually are memorable because they speak louder for themselves than just being generic and cookie cutter and all that. And it just, oh man, they're just so well written, so full of personality, and just fun to actually just watch them portray themselves in the game. And people like Gruntilda is definitely no exception. And Grunty's pissed. A friend of mine that I went to college with, she said she wouldn't even play Banjo-Kazooie because of just how scary looking that Gruntilda is. And we're introduced to Bottles the Mole. Hi there, Tootie! What are you... What are you going to... Oh, okay, what are you going to do today? When my big lazy brother wakes up, we're going on an adventure! Yay! It's just when playing Banjo-Kazooie, it's like that's the only game where you actually see his sister Tootie have a role in a game, and then after that, she is nowhere else to be seen, not even in Banjo-Tooie or Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and it really makes me wonder why Microsoft has not given Rare the green light to actually make another Banjo-Kazooie game, because I think we're definitely long overdue for a proper high-quality Banjo-Kazooie game after the somewhat unpleasant atrocity that is Nuts and Bolts. And for me personally, the Silent Gamer, I have not really played Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, but I have played a little bit of Banjo-Tooie. I haven't beaten that game, but Banjo-Kazooie is the only one I have beaten, and at some point I do plan on actually doing a 100% live stream, probably a blind one, of Banjo-Tooie. But it's just when playing that game, it definitely picks up where the first game left off in terms of just the appeal, and it definitely does show its appeal greatly. But when it comes to Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, it's just, ugh, bad. And you can tell that's Chris Sutherland, formerly of Rare, who's actually doing the voice of Banjo there. I mean, if there was one person at Rare who I think of as the jack of all trades, then I definitely think it's Chris Sutherland. Anyway, now we can get in control of our character Banjo here. So yes, we're going to be playing through this game a little bit, just how it is, and then I will be explaining why I have not really done that much content within the last month or so. And when we're going through this game, we're not going to be doing just one sit-through 100% completion. We're actually going to be doing this in multiple parts. So for the first episode, we're going to be going through Mumbo's Mountain, Treasure Trove Cove, and Clanker's Cavern at 100%, and then we will actually stop right there for part 1. And I hope everybody can hear the game very well. And honestly, since Microsoft is putting their games on the Windows 10 store, especially when it comes to their games that are on Xbox One, it kind of makes me wonder why they haven't even put a game like this or its sequel on the Windows 10 store, you know, based on the Xbox 360 high-definition port, because I definitely think that would sell a lot of units on the Windows 10 platform or the Windows 10 store for people to actually play that. Anyway, as we're playing in this opening hub world here, we're going to be introduced to the basic controls. And every time when we get to a Bottle's mole hole, he's going to teach us how to do some of the moves. So yeah, as you can tell, Bottles is it's a fun character to actually be with, but his moves are pretty basic when compared to Jam Jars in the sequel. And as you can tell, him and Kazooie do not have the best friendship when starting out in this game. So, as you can tell, Bottles here, he's telling us to keep the camera right behind us. We can just hit the R button and then the camera will stay right behind us all the way. Really good camera controls. So yeah, we're going to be going through many of these areas and we'll just do the basics here. And you know, I've been kind of figuring, how would I try to evolve Double RPG Let's Play, or Double RPG's Let's Plays, or anything like that. And I've been kind of having to think for quite a while about what I want to do. And honestly, I have some good ideas, but in the meantime, it's just a matter of trying to figure out what I want to say, or what I want to talk about. And for the Double RPG Gamer for Solo channel, I've been kind of thinking of actually... wanting to actually rebrand that and put it to be more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles eccentric, or like video game eccentric channel, where not only would I do Let's Plays of the games, but I would also do something like bios of the characters, or maybe even do some things like review issues of the comic or whatever, or even the volumes that they have. Oh, now it's telling us to do a... There we go. So I've been kind of thinking about doing something like that for the Gamer for Solo channel of mine, but you know, I'll have to decide from there if I want to do something like that. But you know, there's a possibility of when it'll get executed. But as you can tell, I'm a really busy guy. You can plainly see, since I've actually been quite busy. So yeah, these are the honeycomb pieces that you can actually find in this game to actually give you extra lives. Anyway, while we're getting introduced to the controls and all, and just actually listening to the jib-jabs that Banjo and everybody else are doing, let's go ahead and talk about why I have not posted any content for quite a while, and there is a good explanation for that. So, why I have not posted any content after I posted Episode 6 of my retrospective of the Final Fantasy series with Final Fantasy 8 and 9? Well, long story short, not only have I been working quite a lot at home, but at the end of August, my family and we actually got ourselves a new puppy. We don't know what breed it is, but we're definitely taking very good care of it, and boy, he's been lovable and just a bundle of fun, if I do say so myself. And I have been spending a lot of time with him every single day, and it's just working on content or trying to work on something new. which I've been wanting to do for quite a while, it didn't seem like it just didn't seem like I wanted to put in any interest or any effort in working on something new, since I've been spending so much time playing with the new puppy and all that I really didn't have time to actually work on any new content. You know, more simpler content, while I will be taking a long break from doing any more episodes of the Final Fantasy retrospective of mine, and there's a good reason for that too, which I will be talking about when we're doing this live stream, or when I'm doing this live stream. And we got ourselves a Banjo trophy, which will give us an extra life. But yeah, it's just with the puppy and all, my time with content has just been just down the pothole, and I know I missed out on quite a lot of 2 cents videos. Like, I had one planned where I was going to talk about how ridiculous it is that Nintendo is being overly secretive with the NX, since they don't want anybody talking about it. And, you know, I can understand to an extent why they don't want anybody talking about it, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, you know, when you have a new console coming out, it's like when you're going to actually get some hype done for it, then yeah, people are going to be talking about it, and, you know, it's not something that's going to be easily avoided. So yeah, I've been thinking of doing something like that, but unfortunately, it's just with the puppy and all, I haven't really put in any time or effort in wanting to actually do that. So hopefully when the puppy gets a little bit bigger, then hopefully it won't be too much of a hassle to actually work on some more content. But, you know, let's see if I can try to throw in some leeway. And not only that, I've been working quite a lot, and it's just working on more content. It's like one of those things that you kind of suffer a burn when you're actually trying to come up with something new. But it won't be that big of a problem for me once as I actually see if I can actually get the month of October in with actually doing more content for the channel. But who knows? Now, as for the reason why I'm taking a long break of doing the Final Fantasy retrospective of mine, it's because if I got around to doing Episode 7, which will cover both Final Fantasy X and X-2, then that point on, I will not have any more scripts to actually work with, so I'm going to need to actually spend a lot of quality time in actually putting together some more scripts, so that way I can at least have them done in order to continue with doing the retrospective. And probably I can get up to working on the at least until episode 10 that covers the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, as well as Final Fantasy Type 0, or maybe Final Fantasy 11, or episode 11 that covers Final Fantasy 14 Online, both the original release and A Realm Reborn, as well as the current expansion pack that has come out, and whatever new ones that are coming out down the pipeline. So I am going to need to spend some quality time with putting together some scripts and all, so that way I can actually get those worked on, and that way I can actually work on those while capturing the footage, and everything will go smooth sailing from there. So yeah, if I did episode 7 right now, then I wouldn't have another episode to work on, and that was kind of my fault that I actually just not put in any time and effort to actually put in a new, work on any new scripts or whatever. Oh, and hey, Flame Chocobo, good to see you on the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you caught up on time to me talking about why I haven't even put up any content in the last month or so. And as you can tell, my speech is actually just starting to wind down because I'm just way too focused in the game. And honestly, I think it really is kind of asinine for me to try to stop talking when I'm just that far in the game, or when I'm just getting into the game, because I'd rather, you know, be talking to you all. I'm not that good as Nightwing01, who actually can speak on the spot when he's playing a game and all, but, you know, never hurts to actually practice at some point. And I guess, you know, for something like this would be good practice. And Flame Chocobo, it's going great. Just enjoying my lovely evening of just talking and actually having some fun. And I got myself a full honeycomb, so that will add me another hit point. And we learned all the basic techniques and all. So, yeah, my time's been doing great. Been really busy, and it's going to get busier from here on out until the, you know, during the holiday season. And, you know, we'll just see how good the holiday season goes from here. Oh, so you've been playing MapleStory? Well, that's cool. I mean, there's plenty of games that I'm actually getting back into myself. Like, after I got done with Episode 6, I got really heavily into the new Ace Attorney game, Spirit of Justice. And I gotta say, from playing it, it is just as incredible as Dual Destinies from 2013. And it's really a shame that we haven't even gotten the Great Ace Attorney in the West yet, because of what Motohide Ishiro has said about certain circumstances preventing Capcom from actually localizing the game for the Western market. It's like, what are the circumstances are you actually talking about, Capcom? Just be honest with us and tell us why you can't even get those games over here. It's really not that hard to be honest with us. I mean, I'm sure there may be politics involved, or maybe some things that you feel that cannot actually work well in the localization process, but it's like, be creative. That's how you made your other games in the Ace Attorney series be creative. And, you know, with Ace Attorney 6 or Spirit of Justice, that's no exception right there. But yeah, I played through all of Ace Attorney 6, and it's just as incredible as all the other Ace Attorney games in the main series. And I even played the newest DLC that came out, the Turnabout Time Traveler Special Episode DLC. And just playing that, it's like you're playing an original Ace Attorney game all the way. It's just filled with so much nostalgia just playing through that. And you can possibly tell why when you just look at it firsthand. But for what it is, it's like, oh man, it is so great. Oh yeah, Flame Chocobo? Was Paper Mario Color Splash really just boggling your mind right now? Were you actually one of the few people who actually got an early preload copy through the eShop by accident? If you are, then definitely congratulations, man. Now we got our first Jiggy piece. But yeah, it really bums me out why we still have not gotten the Great Ace Attorney over here in the West. I mean, we really shouldn't be suffering this drought of games in the Ace Attorney series while we're just waiting for the next one to actually come out. Yeah. My least favorite Ace Attorney game, Silent Gamer? That is a very, very good question. But if you want to talk about the original trilogy, you know, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, and then Justice for All and Trials and Tribulations, then I will say from the original trilogy that the second game, Justice for All, I feel is the weakest, but it actually has the best case in the entire trilogy. The last case is, I would like to consider in the original trilogy to be the best in that trilogy, or possibly even the best in the entire series, for that matter. Because it flips everything around with what you know on what you're supposed to do in Ace Attorney, and you got to, you know, think outside the box on what you need to do in order to actually get through the case just fine, or actually get the bad ending or whatever. So that's why I like that case so much. But if you want to talk about what's my favorite Ace Attorney game in the original trilogy, it's kind of hard to say between both the first game and Trials and Tribulations, because they're both equally just as good. But in terms of the second trilogy, the one that deals with mostly Apollo Justice most of the time, I will probably say that the first one, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, is the weakest. And there are specific reasons as to why I feel that's the case. It just felt like, you know, there wasn't that... I mean, the game definitely has heart and soul. I will definitely put it that much. But it's just, when playing it, it's just like, you just expect more than just it being another game, because to me it just feels like just another game in the Ace Attorney series that really hasn't done anything to innovate, and I think that's where Dual Destinies actually succeeded better in that regard, is actually managed to innovate with some things while actually keeping true to what Ace Attorney is all about, and how they make Phoenix sound more aloof in his personality and just kind of more strict. It's like, what happened to the character and all? Oh, is that how you want to play it? Okay, so it just actually sends him. But yeah, it's just Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. While I think it's a good, well-written game, it's just gameplay-wise, I just think it's probably the weakest in the second trilogy. Oh. Oh yeah, I gotta learn the butt stomp. Alright. Actually, no, I gotta have him throw the oranges or whatever. There we go. But talking about my favorite in the second trilogy, I would definitely say that probably the newest one, Spirit of Justice, is probably the one that comes out on top. But when taking a look at both that and Dual Destinies, it's like they're neck and neck with each other with just how well written they are and just how, just embodies the spirit of the original trilogy on what what the series is supposed to be. But just when playing through Spirit of Justice, it's like they ended off the second trilogy on a high note. And it kind of makes me wonder what the next trilogy is going to be. And I really hope it doesn't take that long for Capcom to actually localize more Ace Attorney games, because to me, I'm definitely wanting more Ace Attorney goodness to actually come out on a yearly basis, or just at least every 2 years. But, it's still really good. So yeah, I just really hope that the sales of Spirit of Justice are really good, and maybe it will get Capcom to finally get off their lazy butt and actually talk about, or actually localize the Great Ace Attorney and even its sequel that's just been announced. Because definitely, we don't need this drought of games coming about that will make us yearn for more. Like, if you want a game that really is long overdue, then definitely take a look at something like a 5th entry in the Devil May Cry series that's in the main canon, Because we haven't even gotten a new game after Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, which is the remake of Devil May Cry 4, that came out as of 2014, I think? Or was it 2015? I think it was 2015, because I think that and PS4 and Xbox One remaster of DMC Devil May Cry came out in that same year, too. But, like I said, I want there to be a Devil May Cry 5 with the original characters, like Dante, Nero, Virgil, and all that. Because we are definitely long overdue for a brand new installment of that, and they're taking their sweet-ass time with actually trying to get a new game worked on. But if any of you are asking me if I'm looking forward to, if I'm actually oh, whoops, I didn't want to do, okay, so, but probably a lot of you are asking me, or gonna ask me if I'm looking forward to Paper Mario Color Splash. And short answer is yes. But, will I possibly get it right away? Probably not. But, anything is possible. Why not? Ah, there you go. Better be Conga. Yes, he did. I mean, if you want to talk about other Capcom games that are long overdue, just take a look at something like original Mega Man game, or even Mega Man X, or Mega Man ZX, or something like that. One that doesn't have Inafune involved, for once. I mean, I know a lot of people still think Inafune is the father of Mega Man, but just after what happened with the atrocity that is known as Mighty Number 9, it's like, oh god, I don't think anybody wants to talk about it ever again. I think that game finally showcases Inafune's true colors as to what type of person he is in the video game industry. And if any of you actually do like Keiji Inafune, then, you know, I do apologize, but personally, it's just with Mighty Number 9, that game definitely showcased what type of person he truly is. And yes, Flame Zero, I do agree with, or Flame Chocobo, I do agree with you that Nintendo needs to get off their behinds and actually give us a new F-Zero game. And if the Nintendo NX is supposed to be dubbed as what they consider to be a reboot of Nintendo's core hardware design philosophies or whatever, if it's going to be a dedicated gaming platform, then a lot of those games that we actually wanted from them, they need to be made a priority for them to actually get in the works and such. Like a new F-Zero and a new Metroid, a proper Metroid for once. And I think with the reception that Metroid Prime Federation Force got, I think it just shows that Nintendo was not clear in the head with what they were doing. I mean, they had good ideas. It was an interesting idea with what they wanted to do with Metroid Prime Federation Force, but it's just the execution, it just didn't bode well. I mean, when you take a look at the game, it just looks ugly. I mean, it looks like something you would see actually on the DS instead of something like Metroid Prime Hunters, which actually looks good for a DS game. It's like pushing the DS to its capabilities, but when you take a look at something like Metroid Prime Federation Force, it looks ugly. In every sense of the word, too. Oh, I think there was a reason why I wanted to do that. And I think you have to be you have to do that. And I do believe that the next 3D Mario game is not going to be something in the vein of Super Mario 3D World, but I think it's going to be more along the vein of something like a Galaxy or a Sunshine or a 64-esque type game, because I think we're definitely not overdue for another one of those types of games. And, you know, it was very rare that we actually got a 3D Mario game, a sequel to a 3D Mario game for once, and I really hope that we actually do get another one like that in the future. You know, like a Super Mario Galaxy 3, or maybe even, you know, something new along the lines of 3D Mario games. Just a new idea, basically. Ikum tokum. Okay, I think this is where we learned the butt stop over here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I will admit that Super Mario 3D World, it was a better improvement over... Well, actually, it's kind of hard to say whether or not if it's an improvement over 3D Land, because I definitely think 3D Land was actually a much better game, because it actually fit for a handheld. But when you're talking about when you're talking about like a console game, it's just like, it doesn't seem like Super Mario 3D World was best suited for a console type of experience, you know? There we go. And I know some people out there may actually like Super Mario 3D World, but, you know, it really wasn't my cup of tea. And as for Zelda, we actually did have Hyrule Warriors, which I actually think was the better Zelda game that we got on the Wii U, but I am definitely looking forward to Breath of the Wild, believe it or not, because Breath of the Wild, after what we've seen at E3, it just looks phenomenal. Looks absolutely breathtaking. So, it kind of makes you wonder, what do I have down the pipeline in the future? Well, to be honest, I really haven't thought of anything of what I should do in the future. Maybe I've been kind of thinking to myself whether or not if I should do, more live streams like this to actually get, my gameplay side on before I actually work on more content, because I'm only just one guy, and all just working on all the content, as you can plainly see, as I really don't have a team or anything like that. There we go, we got ourselves another Jiggy. We're just getting Jiggies like crazy. And like I said, Flame Chocobo, I don't blame you if you like Super Mario 3D World quite a lot, more so than many of the others, but for me personally, I just enjoy the collectathon aspect more, because that, to me, is what Mario is all about. Well, in the 3D sense. But when it comes to, like, a 2D game, it's like, okay, we're long overdue to actually seeing an actual 2D game, not a 2.5D game, but an actual 2D game, because it's just, without there being any more 2D games outside of what we mostly see from the RPGs and all, it's like, come on, where's like, the... It's just like, come on. Can we actually get another just main install, like a main 2D game for once? That actually would be awesome. And what do you mean by voice chat, Flame Chocobo? And yeah, I agree, Atlas needs to get back on 2D platformers, because some of the ones that they actually worked on were actually some of the best. And not to mention, most of their RPGs back then were actually pretty spot on too, even the ones that were the most original, like Thousand Arms, for instance. I would die for, another Thousand Arms game to be made, or a sequel, and not just have it just be a one-time thing, because I definitely think that game definitely deserves to have, yes, I do have Discord, and I do plan on having more people actually join me, but it's just for this for this time around, I just kind of want to talk by myself. And maybe I'll actually have some special guests that will actually join me every now and then. But it's just for right now, let's just I just want to focus on me being me right now. And it's just getting through these first three worlds is mostly a cakewalk. But yeah, I'll be glad to add anybody on Discord if they want to give me their Discord ID and their ID number. But you have to send me like a private message through on here or whatever, because I don't think it's quite wise to actually have people posting their IDs on the chat or anything like that. And now let's turn to ants for the N64 specifically. Don't worry, we're going to be turning into an ant here pretty shortly. We just need to go inside Mumbo's hut. And Mumbo is voiced by none other than Grant Kirkhope, of all people. Hi, Mumbo! Yeah. Up. Best shaman in all game. Me, much better than Mumbo Wumba. And who is Mumbo Wumba? Anyway, as you can tell, in order to actually transform into to the things that Mumbo actually wants us to transform into in this game, we need to get enough tokens. And don't worry, I think there's one inside his hut, if I'm not mistaken. But I think I will need to go up high. It's like, I have not played Banjo-Kazooie in quite a long time, and I think I even said that at the beginning when doing this live stream. It's just how fun it is. Just how well made it is for a 3D platformer, and how this game actually, how it actually surpasses the original Banjo-Kazooie, or surpasses the Donkey Kong Country trilogy as a 3D platformer of all things. And rightfully so. Okay, so we need to figure out where one... I need to find another one of those Mumbo tokens. There should be one somewhere inside this level. Another one, anyway. But where am I missing it? It's not up there. Or is it down below? Or did I just not check through the, you know, this path up here thoroughly? Probably did, but... Oh yeah, I checked through it thoroughly. Or maybe it was inside the anthill and I just didn't catch it at first. Oh, you watched Slim Kirby's live stream of Ants? Honestly, I never even knew a game like Ants existed, and I do watch some of Slim Kirby stuff every now and then, but it's just... I don't know. You know, maybe I'll actually, you know, give him more of a chance to actually watch his stuff, because it seems like he has live streamed like every Mario game in existence. Okay, so now we have plenty of tokens, and then if we stand on the skull pad here, we'll actually see Mumbo work his magic. There we go. We're gonna become an ant! Boogada! I always like that noise he makes when, you know, he transforms you. Mumbo's magic free to change back. You come when ready. But if we get far... so yeah, we are now a termite. So it's not really an ant per se, but now since we're a termite, we could actually grab something off the ledge over here without any problem, and walking on ledges really isn't going to pose that much of a issue. But yes. But in terms of what other games I've been playing as of recent, I got a recent knack of getting back into... you're not gonna take my backpack. Anyway, I got this recent trend of going back to playing RPGs because with Final Fantasy 15 and World of Final Fantasy about to release, that I wanted to get my RPG fix on. So I actually started playing a little bit of Trails of Cold Steel for the PlayStation 3. And I gotta say, playing that game, I played a little bit of Trails in the Sky, the first of the Legend of Heroes games, done by Nihon Falcom, who are famous for the Ys series. But I haven't really, you know, completed that game at 100% or anything like that. And when playing through a game like Legend of Heroes, it takes a long time to actually try and complete that game at 100% because you have to, you know, play through the game multiple times in case if you want to get some of the trophies and all of that. It's just playing RPGs and trying to actually 100% them, it's just, ugh, bad. But what do I think about Dragon Quest VII? I haven't even gotten around to playing Dragon Quest VII on the 3DS just yet. You know, that may be something I might live stream one of these days, but, you know, just doing a blind live stream, but I haven't really gotten around to it yet. But I really do enjoy the Dragon Quest games as much as the Final Fantasy games because of them being two separate RPGs in their own right. And, you know, speaking of Dragon Quest, I've been actually thinking of wanting to live stream Dragon Quest Heroes, the Musou Dragon Quest game, because I played through that game, well, not all the way through, but some of it, and it's just really, really like what they did with it. Just what makes me want to play it more, and makes me hope that the sequel actually comes out to the West. And whether or not if I pick up Dragon Quest Builders, that's definitely possible. I heard a lot of people saying good things about it. And I always love me some Dragon Quest. Yes, we learn about the magical spells. Or magical spells from Grunty in order to actually get past the walkways and all. Looks like the live stream is still going on just fine. It looks like I haven't had any dropped frames or anything like that. So that's good. I just had to check and see if I actually had any dropped frames or whatever. So yeah, we got 100 notes. So the more we go up in the castle, the more we actually get introduced to newer places and all. And the castle, it actually gets really interesting because it's just when you're playing through it, it just seems like the whole castle is part of something that belongs to Gruntilda. And rightfully so. Oh, I don't need to remove any jiggies in order to complete the pictures. The Cranky Kong joke, Flame Chocobo. Aw, it's the Gruntilda. Gruntilda's nicer sister, the more kinder one. Even her sister, even Grundy's sister really dislikes her because of her disgusting nature. Oh yeah, I'll definitely hear them. Grunty's brushes her rotten teeth with salted slug-flavored toothpaste. Ick. She also washes her hair with baked beans. Yuck. And she gets her clothes from the trash can. Well, that makes perfect sense. Because, you know, of her being a witch and all. Now, to get to Trove Cove, I think we have to go down this way. No, we actually got ourselves a magical pot down here. And you can definitely think of these pots as warp points. I know what you're talking about, Flame Chocobo. When I was doing that Okami live stream, I actually made that joke as Cranky Kong, where he was talking to Scrooge McDuck to actually come over to the Donkey Kong Country world to give his son a good ass whooping. Oh yes, I definitely remember that. I remember I got Fighter Cows cracking up because of that. And it was pretty funny. So I think we will have to go upstairs. No, it's just a... I think we have to go down there. Piss off. Yeah, I think we have to go down here for it. It's like there's always a secret of some sort in order to actually get some of the jiggies. And I think we will have to go up there as soon as we complete Trove Cove. Oh, I could be mistaken. But yes, here we are at Trove Cove. Ahoy there! This be Trove Cove. And as you can tell, there is a Jinjo right there. That's something I haven't really explained in this game. What the hell are Jinjos? Well, they're like these bird-like creatures, and they're very peaceful, and they just only seem like one-time things that you actually come into contact with, and, they don't have that much relevance until you actually get to the sequel. Anyway, let's go ahead and collect some jiggies while we're at it. So, there's a huge hermit crab. Granddad! Who's Granddad? Okay. So we're gonna have to peck this guy's eyes. What the hey? There we go. Haha. You... Hey! You can tell I haven't even played this for quite some time. But, yeah, we finally defeat that crab boss. What reminds you of Big Bird? And I do apologize if I have a hard time trying to figure out what you're trying to say there, Flame Chocobo. Also, nice name. Had to make it for... Oh, okay. I see. For me, I really haven't watched Vine's Sauce that much. Maybe I should, but it's just... I don't know. You know, when playing through this game, I mean, when going through that clams or that hermit crab's shell, they really got the circular motion down wrong, because it should have been the other way around. You should have been curving by going rightwards and not, you know, when Banjo is facing forward. He wanted to be going rightwards when curving around, not leftwards. That's just inconsistent perception on where Banjo needed to go and all. Oh yeah, Jinjos remind me of Big Bird, or remind you of Big Bird. Yeah, they kind of do look like Big Bird, don't they? I always found it funny with the pink ones that at the end of that jingle, when it says Jinjo, it's just completely in sync. Okay, so we get access to the Kazooie Springs. Like that pink Jinjo I was talking about. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed. There we go. And those feathers are going to be used as something. It seems like any character you come into contact with, they're going to have some sort of jib-jab section. Yeah, it is awkward game design. I agree with you there, Flame Chocobo. And if you're wondering if I'm looking forward to the game Yooka-Laylee, oh, you bet your sweet ass I am. That game looks phenomenal as a collectathon. And I'm ready for another platform collectathon of some kind, since we've suffered a long enough drought of those. Anyway, fill up this bucket. Leaky. We'll fart some eggs to patch up Leaky. Everybody would love a good Wario. Especially when you hear him say, "Doh, I missed," and all. Hey, Furball. You're looking wise. Solve my puzzle and win a prize. Oh, I see. Well, that's not very subtle, is it? Probably should have went to go find Cheeto. Oh, let's start over. Nope. No, I just need to find the end. There we go. So spell Banjo-Kazooie, and then of course you actually can get access inside the place. And even when I tried to 100% Banjo-Kazooie as of recent, it's like, how do I remember all these things in the game? Even if I completed it at 100% a long time ago. That just didn't seem physically possible, you know? It's like one of those things that you play for quite a long time and you just can't remember where exactly they're at, where they're located. Die. Sorry, no die get a free guy in this world. We're not the K-Wings. And when it comes to ukulele, I'll probably pick up both the PS4 and the Wii U version. Because I think they'll both be good in their own right. I just really hope that, you know, that the team who are making Ukulele, Platonic, they still have their touch with how they could actually develop games on Nintendo's hardware, unlike a vast majority of other developers in this world. Well, even though there are still some that know how to develop games for Nintendo's hardware and all. But it's just like, you know. And yes, I can hear that hippo crying in the background. One of the most annoying things about this game. Just a big pirate crying hippo of some sort. But it's a funny character. Probably not as funny as Boggy is from Freeze Peak. Which we'll actually get to that section in the next episode. You know, when I get a... No frickin' pizzas. Let's get back on track with where we were at. And I think... get back over here. Oh, Jesus. That... Looks like that guy wanted to... Or it looks like that clam wanted to manhandle me. The way how he was snipping at me. And all. I want to fly. But we're just taking things easy first, so that way we can just grab what we need before we actually make the big jump. There's Plunder. Is that his name? Or Blubber? Who knows? You say tomato, I say tomato. Burping Hippo. Yeah, the Burping Hippo. The crying, burping hippo. Okay, so that's where we learn to fly. But we'll focus on getting that as soon as we actually just focus on all this other stuff first. Oh, okay. Okay, we climb up here. Oh! There's a green Jinjo. Alright, quit crying, you stupid hippo. It's time for you to fly. Alright, at last. It better be easy, Bog Eyes. Oh, it is. Simple enough, even for you, Bird Brain. Yeah, you can tell that these two actually like each other quite a lot. I know I'm being sarcastic, but still, it's just funny. And that's the joke! Nice going. You've learned all the Cove's new moves, so yes, we don't need to learn anything new from Boggles. Ikum tokum. Okay, let's talk to you. Quit your whining. Yep. Hey, Captain Blubber. The burping hippo. Arr! But if I could... Can you help an old sea hippo? We'll find it for you. Quit your whining. We just need to go down and find one of the treasures. And they're really not that hard to get when you're in this section. But they can be a bit confusing with the way how you're actually swimming in these parts. And, let's get the Mumbo token. There we go. So yeah, we're done with this part. Now let's go ahead and find the other. And we'll actually get the other treasure chest. But first things first. Aye, that be half of me gold. That's half of your gold. Now don't cry anymore about it. Okay. So... it's like the depth perception with the 3D. It's kind of hard to tell if you're actually getting some of the items or not. Oh, my Rumble Pack was actually working. I wasn't really paying attention if it was working or not. Okay, there's the other. So let's go get our prize if we can actually get out of here. Steal a Jiggy, kill a crab. Oh, yeah, I sure did. And that crab wasn't going to go anywhere. There we go. Okay, quit your whining. Me treasure. Thank ye, me hearties. Take this. Reward. I'm off to spin. Spin, spin, spin. Get out of here and don't cry anymore. And I hope that with Western third-party companies, especially when it comes to Nintendo platforms, that they actually do a much better job this time around. Because Western third parties, they definitely have a place on Nintendo's platforms. I know some people might say they disagree, but it's like, you can't really count anybody out when it comes to, you know, competition or whatever. And Nintendo should not be counted out whatsoever, even if they flubbed up with the Wii U. Okay. Now, let's go in here, because there's Jiggies. And when you're inside these treasure chests, you can't get hurt unless if you're, you know, on the teeth of their, of the rims or whatever. And I think one of them even has a Jiggy, if I'm not mistaken. But I think it's the one that's higher up. And you probably know what I'm talking about. Well, when it comes to third parties, any games I usually buy are usually from the Japanese standpoint. Like, the next Tekken game, Tekken 7, that's one I'm really looking forward to. And, like, the RPGs, like the upcoming Final Fantasy 15 and World of Final Fantasy, and, you know, probably both versions of Dragon Quest 11 if we ever get those out on, you know, out in the West, which we most certainly will, most likely. So, yeah. It's definitely understandable where your concerns are coming from. There, Flame Chocobo. And, yes, I would call Activision douche pigs. Because, it's just, after what they made Platinum Games go through in terms of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, that was like, okay, that's the last straw. This is just BS. They deserve better. And they most certainly did deserve better. There's no question about it. Oh yeah, I forgot we could actually fly, can't we? And then we could press the A button to fly higher, if we wanted to. Oh! Crap. Get out of here. Lovely. Yeah, I bet. That's why I said I don't really like the flying. I think the flying is a little bit awkward in this game, but it's really not terrible, per se. It could have been better. Especially when it comes to the depth perception with the 3D. Okay, yeah, there's the Jiggy. Yes, got it. Touch it if you dare. Oh, I dare. Indeed. Okay, now let's get out of here. And we'll hit another flight pad. Because there's more places for us to go. More Jinjos for us to find. More, yeah, the assholes who... Well, they didn't make Candy Crush Saga. They bought the developers of that game, or the studio. It's like, what is up with all these buyouts that Activision's doing just to stay relevant? It's like, what they're doing, it's like... They should realize that their whole business philosophy is completely outdated. I mean, it's not the 1980s all over again with how they managed to somehow survive the video game crash during that time in 1983 and 84. And it's just like, with how they made Platinum Games handle Mutants in Manhattan, it's just like, it was a sight for sore eyes, but in a bad way, if you get my meaning. Okay, so they're just pretty much eggs right there. Yeah, looks like it. And you know, there was a picture that I think a friend of mine on Facebook actually posted that pretty much describes the higher-ups within Activision within a picture, and I was like, yeah, I completely agree. You know, just looking at the picture and all, that definitely describes who they are and how asinine their philosophies are in that sense. Okay, there's the next grunty pad, and I think that will open up the... Yeah, there we go. There's another Mumbo token. And I think this is where we get our next... Yes, it is. There we go. Jiggy number 5? Yep. And you can hear Banjo with his cheesy voice when he's laughing. It's like, yeah. It's like Goofy saying, oh, yuck, or... It's hard to really do that. It's like one of those things for any type of character, if they're cartoon related. That's like one of their voices that's really hard to do. It's just like... It just seems so weird to try to pull that off, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I could do, you know, Mickey Mouse laughs fine at times, but it's like, I have no problem with that whatsoever, but it's just like, when it comes to Goofy, it's like one of those things, it's like, it's really hard to do, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're back down here. And I hope Mr. Hippo is not crying. Nope, he's not crying, so good. He's out of our sight. Really, Activision teamed up with Autism Speaks for Autism Awareness Month. It's like, really? They would do something like that. It's like, they really don't deserve to team up with people, you know, since what they do... It's just basically a betrayal to everyone just to get their money and all. Okay. There's the next Jiggy. But a lot of you are also probably wondering, what other games am I looking forward to? Well, I'm looking forward to The Last Guardian on the PS4. And I definitely have the Collector's Edition pre-ordered and paid off, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Horizon Zero Dawn next year. Now that's one that I have my eyes set on quite immensely because of its feeling of The Legend of Zelda in its gameplay. I think that game and Breath of the Wild are going to be neck and neck with each other, but in terms of who will actually have the better chance of doing well with sales, it's probably going to be Breath of the Wild just because of how strong of a reputation that the Zelda series has, and rightfully so. Oh, hi, Harmful Design. Glad that you made it out on the live stream. And also, another thing about my Final Fantasy retrospective, you know, and I really didn't even make the connection here, as I kind of should have said something at the beginning to, you know, address some things. I know a lot of people been asking me if I can actually get the review of Final Fantasy, or do the retrospective episodes of all the Final Fantasy games before Final Fantasy 15 releases, and I think what it is that people forget to realize is that I'm just only one guy, and I really don't have enough time or patience to actually work on all those episodes at once to get them out before one game comes out, because working on those games, they actually take a long time to actually try and put together. That's like anything with any retrospective. Maybe something that's a little bit quicker, like the older games, yeah, they're maybe easier to work on, but when it comes to something like the most recent outings that are more ambitious in their scopes and all, it's just like, it's really not that possible to do all those episodes to actually try and get them out before a game comes out, because you're actually rushing your work instead of actually putting the time and effort that you need in order to actually make something masterful out of it. So working on something like trying to get them done all at once, it's not possible. And I'm sorry for those who think it is, but it isn't, you know? But anyway, I just want to address that concern. But, yeah, Flame Chocobo, I will agree that I think both the Wii U and the PS4, and definitely Xbox One, deserve better. But when it comes to Xbox One, I'm just... with where they're going with Project Scorpio, it's just like, ugh. I don't really think it's a perfect time to actually unleash an update to the Xbox One platform that they're going to declare as like the most powerful console ever, because to me, it's like, when it comes to the most powerful console ever, that's kind of an understatement, because when taking a look at the most powerful thing in existence, then you're definitely going to see that PC definitely has a better shot at actually doing much better, because they always have a much better shot at actually one-upping the competition either way you look at things. So it's not possible to actually beat the PC platform whatsoever. But I think for what PS4 is doing right now, it's doing just fine, but definitely the Wii U deserved better, if anything. But, you know, I kind of partly blame Nintendo for that as well, with seeing how unnecessary the gamepad was at most of the time, and how they did not utilize it to its full potential. I mean, there were games that utilized it to its full potential, but not every one of them. Like, they could have just been so much better. But anyway, that's how I feel. But I just feel that this generation has just been far more lackluster. It's like, it just seems like it's been more about the era of re-releases, and more of the and less of the era of like innovation and new IPs and all that. Which, you know, we do need new IPs, but there's also that same risk where, you know, new IPs are not always going to be beneficial to the company, because they need to make sure that when it comes to a new IP, that everything will become profitable for them at the end. But I'm going to say this, if they want to make their things profitable, or have a better chance at doing so with becoming profitable, then they need to actually put in a lot of quality time and effort to actually make the games polished as possible. Because if they don't do that, then if they don't make their games as polished as possible, then that's, you know, they're going to have a better chance of suffering even more. And if they keep doing stuff like, you know, like the whole on-disc DLC or just having DLC for plenty of games. It's just like, that's just not healthy for the industry, you know? There we go. So yeah, we got all the jiggies in this stage. Yep, so I think we're done with this level now. And I don't think there was anything else out in the waters that we needed to find. So yeah, I think we're done with this stage, and we got all 100 jiggies. So yes, we have completed that level. And now we're off to find Clanker's Cavern, and we're going to 100% that, and after we 100% that, then we'll call that an episode, and then we'll save for the next time that we actually go through the next 3 worlds. But I will say, it's going to get tougher from here on out. So let's get out of the stage, and head back. And yeah, the only thing that the gamepad is good for is off-TV play. I mean, there could have been more that could have been done for the gamepad, but it's just, Nintendo didn't do anything more for the gamepad. They just squandered on it. Like how most everybody else was squandering on their own, you know, on other things, you know, on the gamepad on other things. I mean, there were some games that actually utilized the gamepad properly, like The Wonderful 101, even Bayonetta 2, and as well as something like Splinter Cell Blacklist, and Rayman Legends for that matter. But it's just, other than that, it's just like, the gamepad, its potential wasn't fully realized. It definitely deserved a lot better, the gamepad. But, you know, with the NX, I have much higher hope that Nintendo has learned from their mistakes. But, you know, I'm not going to hold my breath until we actually see proof, if you know what I'm talking about. Because you need to see the actions being executed in order to make your judgment, not just based on, you know, beliefs and all, because if you're just basing your whole philosophy on just beliefs of what others say, that's not really a good sign. Okay, so that's the only way how we're going to be able to fill the picture on that, so, yeah. Well, we can learn more about what, Bruntilda has to say. Nickname was Cauldron Butt at Witch School. That sweaty gorilla feet is her favorite smell. And the old hag's favorite color is ghastly gray. Thank you there, Bruntilda. So yeah, you can see that it has the whole Wizard of Oz, Good Witch, Wicked Witch vibe going on. But I'll tell you one Wii U game that definitely deserved better was Star Fox Zero. And the reason, well, it's because the game itself, it should not have constantly used the gamepad throughout the whole way. They should have made the Pro Controller like the mandatory controller and just the gamepad optional. They shouldn't have to rely on the gamepad 100% of the way, because that's really poor programming. That's a really poor decision, game development decision on Miyamoto's end, because you want something that will appeal to everybody, and just what he did with Star Fox Zero, it's just like, I mean, like I said, it was a good idea, but the execution was just lacking, and not to mention with it acting just like a straight-up remake or reimagining of Star Fox 64. It's just like, really? That's how you think of the next game? When you could have done so much more? Like, you could have had... when you could have had Platinum Games put in their creativity? But yeah, I will say that popular opinion isn't flawless, because popular opinion may actually... because, you know, popular opinion may actually be flawed in some instances, to where a game actually might be good instead of bad from what they perceive it to be. Okay. I hope I'm not missing the wrong way for Clanker's Cavern. I probably am. Oh, gosh. Brintilda, you are just appearing in my face every few seconds with new information. Cauldron College. You know, it's definitely making me think that these, you know, for characters like Gruntilda and Brintilda, they're actually a precursor to uh, the Bean Bean people of the Bean Bean Kingdom in Super Mario, or Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. But that's just me. Okay, so I think I definitely am missing out on Clanker's Cavern elsewhere. I don't think it's in this section, so we'll just have to head back. Yeah, and I'm one of those people who bought a PS4 at launch too. It's like that's like a hard thing to come by anymore. It's just, you know, the perfect video, you know, console launch. I mean, if there was something that I consider to be the perfect console launch, then it's definitely the Super Nintendo, and that's the only last time where we actually got a perfect console launch ever. And that's saying a lot. Okay, so that won't do. It's like, when it comes to games nowadays, it's like, or video game consoles, you're not going to find another launch that's as good as Super Nintendo. No, there's just no way. If you do, then that's quite an impressive feat. And I give you kudos for that. What? Can't go this way? I'm missing something here, aren't I? Like I said, it's been a while since I played this. And knew where everything's at. But I'll find everything eventually. But getting back to what I'm talking about on, like, other projects, you know, there may be something that may come to my mind, like doing more reviews or something, or maybe possibly start doing top 10s. Top 10s that won't even, what do you call it? That won't even rip off something like, oh, I don't know, they go by the name of Watch Mojo. Because Watch Mojo pretty much does their own thing, while, you know, I do my own. Okay, there's what I'm looking for. And I think this is timed? I hope not. That probably is. That will open up there, and I think that will get us to the next stage. Not the next stage, but yeah, the next world, Clanker's Cavern. Yeah, Super Nintendo was freaking awesome. I mean, all the launch games that we got: Super Mario World, F-Zero, UN Squadron, Super Castlevania 4, Final Fantasy 2, or what is known as 4. And I really hope that with the Super Nintendo's 25th or 30th anniversary, we actually get a mini SNES. That would be awesome. Ripper. So yeah, when it comes to console launch in history, no other console will top a launch like Nintendo did with Super Nintendo. And it's just, And the Super Nintendo will always be my favorite console of all time. But, you know, other consoles like the NES, Nintendo 64, PS1, PS2, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, and all that, they're pretty good as well. If you want to place all your pieces into the picture, just press C. Rightfully so. Never mind, I thought we were actually going into Clanker's Cavern. I guess we're going to Bubble Gloop Swamp next? Or am I just missing Clanker's Cavern elsewhere? I guess I'm missing Clanker's Cavern elsewhere. Or otherwise I would, you know, go to it right away. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Gruntilda's face. Yeah, I turned 30 this year. Haven't played this game for quite a while, and already I'm an old man. But we'll worry about Bubble Gloop Swamp. And yeah, Final Fantasy IV's localization in the West for the first time wasn't good. It was outdated, but at least Spoony Bard, that was the only memorable thing about that translation that actually worked well, even in the fan translations and all. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is where we need to jump. Yeah, here we go. So, thank you, Flame Chocobo. Okay, so now we can go back. And I really hope that one day we'll actually get a remake of Final Fantasy VI, a 3D remake. Because I think that game also deserves to be in the bandwagon of 3D remakes like Final Fantasy III and Final Fantasy IV, if you ask me. Okay, so we're going to go through Clanker's Cavern. This is the last level we're going to for this episode, and then we'll just call it quits from here. And just the one new move to find this time. But it's hidden well. Okay. But I'm pretty sure we'll find it, so you don't need to worry about us, Bottles. And I even watched Nintendo Capri Sun's fake sequelitis when talking about the original Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. And I can agree to an extent about where he says that the about why the games in the series were actually, the games in the series were actually good, but when it comes to level design, that something like this and Jolly Roger Bay, or was it Jolly Roger Bay, or was it, I guess it was, or it was the one, yeah, it was Jolly Roger Bay, wasn't it? Yeah, because everything was mechanical in that stage, and when he said that when things turn mechanical, like what you see in this level and in this stage, Clanker's Cavern, it's like, ugh. No wonder that the levels were so bad. But they were still good in their own rights. Like I said, they're still good in their own rights. You can't deny that fact. So let's go ahead and leave this section. I think we pretty much got everything that's inside this place. And what do you mean by Final Fantasy V deserved better? Are you talking about, like, its translation, or just its, how it was designed, or whatever? Because I definitely think if you take a look at something like the GBA remake of Final Fantasy V, it was actually the definitive version, or, yeah, the definitive release of that game. Okay. There's Clanker. Garbage grinder. Yes, you are. Want fresh air. Though Clanker is actually a good guy, so we're gonna have to help him out here. But first things first, we need some air for ourselves. Whoops. Ah, there you go. I always remember that, and yeah, I can see where you're coming from in terms of Final Fantasy 6 on the GBA, how they don't look good, and I agree that their SNES and Super Famicom originals are definitely the most superior when it comes to their visuals, but it's just... but when talking about difficulty-wise and execution, I definitely think the Game Boy Advance re-release of Final Fantasy V actually did better in terms of the execution instead of the Super Famicom release. But in terms of visuals, yeah, it did look ugly. I agree. Okay, so we can't actually get there just yet. It's like a lot of things that should have deserved better. You know, if there was one game I felt that should have deserved better, then it's definitely Mutants in Manhattan by Platinum Games. Because after the success that they had with Transformers Devastation, you figured that Activision would have learned their mistake with what they did with The Legend of Korra and Mutants in Manhattan, but nope. They unfortunately did not learn shit. It's like, apparently not, as Bill Engvall would like to say. Die. Do we get a Jiggy while we're up here? Okay, I know that the new move that we're going to learn in this stage is the Gold Feather Invincibility. There we go. But I think that's inside Clanker, if I remember correctly. In terms of the Japanese version of Final Fantasy IV, I have both the original release and the Easy Type release. And I'm actually very surprised I actually got my hands on both versions. That was quite a deal. For me, at least. No, we're gonna swim a little bit. Oh, Mumbo token. Ikum tokum. And if you ask me if I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, yes. Because I heard a lot of people did not like the original release of Final Fantasy XII because of how boring it felt, but there were some things that they actually improved with the International Job System version or whatever. And that's going to be quite a doozy that's going to be quite interesting for me to actually work on that game when it comes to episode number 9 that covers the Evil East Alliance. And if I remember correctly, I think most of the Genjos are actually inside Clanker in this stage. Okay. Snip it! Mutants are we! Jigsaw is ours! Fight us, you must! Yes, I will. But I want to get the Jiggies while I'm at it. You can wait. How many of you are there? Are you there 4 or 5? Hey, bastards. Get over here! Ha! I could speak like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Get over here! Oh. Got him. Well, Jiggy's mine now, dudes. But yeah, Final Fantasy IV, it's definitely one of the best games. If I had to put it in a top list somewhere, it's easily in my top 5 favorites in the series. Behind, I mean, when compared to Final Fantasy 6, 7, 9, and I think 10. Okay, so we finally got our first Jiggy in this stage. And we can go ahead and get out of dodge here in this section and head on back. But yeah, I played through 12 a little bit myself and really wasn't a big fan of it, so hopefully they can actually do better, or they actually did better with the International Zodiac International Job System or whatever. And from what I heard of people, I think that is definitely the case, but I could be mistaken. Alright, there's our next one. Makes you wonder how a Jinjo can actually survive being underwater that long. I'm surprised there's no Flash made of that. It's like when Banjo goes into this world, is the blue Jinjo that's underwater. It's like, how can he survive that long? And it's like, how can he... I figure he would pass out from lack of oxygen or whatever. But no, I guess when it comes to Jinjos, they're basically gods. Okay, I want to take my time doing this, because I don't want to go too fast. Okay. Okay, so I think we got all that are in those manholes, but the ones that are down here... Oh, okay. So I can see why Clanker is having a hard time wanting to get some air. Is because, well, we have to lower the, or we have to raise the... We have to unhinge the hatch or whatever in order to get him to go upwards. And then most of our trekking in terms of going through this level and finding the jigsaw, or the jiggies and all, is actually going to be inside this... what do you call it? This mechanical fish of joy. Or this mechanical fish of death. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna... Well, what the hell? Let's just grab him real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna haul butt over to the last one, and then I'm gonna swim up, get some air, and then we'll make our way downwards. Okay, so they're just a bunch of eggs, so I wasted my time with that. Oh, let me go up here, get some air, and then we'll head downwards. So we can actually have Clanker get some air, and then most of our trekking to finding the jiggies are going to be in this section. And if memory serves me correctly, I think there is a Jinjo down here. I know there's some jiggies. Oh, good. We will need... Yeah, we will need to get some air when we're down in this section. Because, well, the only way you're going to survive down here is if you get air from this fish. Ugh, man, swimming control is not anybody's best friend when it comes to video games. Now I need a haul butt to actually get some more air. Yes, I see you, Green Jinjo, but if I don't get any more air, I'm gonna die down here, so let me get some oxygen first. Yes, I see you. Don't you dare whistle at me. You will wait until I actually get what I want. Okay, I'm going to grab you. Quit your whining, Jinjo. Other freak. Now, let's get that latch open. Okay, good. Now we can go ahead, we can have Clanker get some air upstairs. And I think we get a Jiggy on top of him too. Yes, we do. Okay. Clanker has fresh air. You find reward on Clanker's back. So he talks in third person, like Elmo from Sesame Street. But there would be some, you know, speaking of Elmo, when I was doing my E3, when I was doing the whole E3, pre-E3, what do you call it? The whole thing with E3, the predictions and all that, with my friends 16-Bit Jeff and Fighter Kaus of the Game Refers, when we did our Nintendo thoughts and all that, we, when I was talking about Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage, I mentioned that one of the bosses in the game, two of the bosses in the game that went under the name Ron and Elmo. So yeah, and they were fat dudes. I made the connection to Sesame Street somehow. I don't know how, but I always thought that, you know, when it comes to Sesame Street, there actually should be a really fun game to actually come from using their likeliness, and I suggested the name Sesame Streets of Rage or whatever, because we were talking about you know, something of a beat 'em up with Spider-Man and Venom, so I thought that actually would make a lot of sense if something like that were to actually be conceived. Actually, Sesame Street, if you can get past your kid-friendly image and actually work with Sega on making a Sesame Streets of Rage, then yes, get on the ball with that. That actually would be awesome. Okay. Okay, so we're done with that. So I think we can explore other things on Clanker's back. Oh yeah. But I don't think that... Oh, it is? There we go. There's our next prize. Our next booby prize, as we call it. No, Flame Chocobo. I really didn't know about that. Must be kind of surreal. Or it must be surreal for that to happen. Ikum tokum. Oh, oh, ah, oh, 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 ah, oh, ah, oh, oh. Okay, so... Oh boy, how am I gonna get up there? That's gonna be a doozy. I know there's a way we can get up here, but it's just a matter of how to do it. So yeah, it's just that whole, that little, gag thing that I made in terms of Sesame Street and Streets of Rage. It's just like, you know, that really needs to be a thing. That, honest to God, needs to be a thing. Because I guarantee I would buy something like that if something like that actually existed. It's like one of those things that, you know, really bad video games of specific properties that come out, but there actually may be potential for one good one that you would never thought would actually be conceived, and just something like Sesame Streets of Rage that actually would be really, really funny. Okay. Oh, I see. There we go. I would like to say that half of them... Okay, we got the orange Jinjo in there. Okay, yeah, definitely provide me the PM there, Flame Chocobo, and I'll definitely take a look at it after I'm done with this episode. Oh, cool! That's what I needed. And I think the next one is actually located inside of Clanker, the next honeycomb piece, for an extra hit. And speaking of which, I think I actually missed one when I was at Trove Cove, so we may have to do some backtracking over there to actually find that honeycomb piece. But let's just focus on where we're at for right now. But I think we can slide down here. Yeah, we can. And yeah, we got ourselves another life. So, cool beans. Anyway, we're now done here. I think we can now move on to... Well, let's take a look here. Wait a minute. View totals. Nope. That's not how we're gonna view it, so never mind. Let's just focus on where we're at right now. Never mind. So, let's just go inside. Ah! In order to get the next one. Very tricky-dicky. Okay, so... yeah, they're a little bit more tricky-dicky with this. Oh, ouch. Oh, move. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I did miss a honeycomb piece, but we'll find it. I'm no big rush to get it right now. Okay, I know there's... Actually, let's go up here, because I think we can... actually explore more of this place. Okay, so this is where we get the, this is where we learn the invincibility move inside of, Clanker's Cavern. Biko's wings as a shield against the bad guys. Does it make me invulnerable? Of course. Sure does. Hold Z and press the right C stick button. Or the right C button. Yeah, extra lives, bitches. I have too many extra lives for that fact, so, okay, and since the energy is a little low, then he'll refill us, and then I think we learned all the moves in this level. Yeah, for this level at least. And then we'll go to Bubblegoop Swamp next, but that'll be in the next episode. Alright. Oh, crud. Muffins? Sure. Okay. So, there's our next Jiggy. So that's 7 in this stage so far. Okay, so get out of dodge here, and then... Oh! Close up! That was so scary. That was hard to look at. Okay, so, let's go ahead and... Could be down there is where the extra honeycomb is, but, I'm not gonna bother right now. Let's just focus on getting the rings. And don't worry, we're not going to make this a Superman 64 episode of any kind, because that'd be ridiculous. There we go. There we go. And I think that last one on the bottom is the last one, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So, swim, swim, swim for your life. Swim as if you mean it. There we go. Awesome. And that fills up more of this place. So we can get more leeway. So, my Game of the Year candidate for this year? Chances are it's probably going to be Final Fantasy 15 when it releases. But that's kind of early to say. I really don't know who rightfully deserves Game of the Year status, in my opinion. It could be anybody. Oh, there's the purple Jinjo. Okay, so we got all the Jinjos in this stage. Now it's just a matter of getting the rest of the Jiggies and the puzzle pieces. Or the music notes. The Jiggies are the puzzle pieces! What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Jinjos and the... Well, no. The music notes and the Jiggies. Gosh, can't even talk today. Come on. Hey, turd. Come on. What? Fail? There we go. There we go. Gosh. You know what? Screw them. I know that the next honeycomb piece gotta be around here somewhere. Crap. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait, you can't go up there? Wow. This game's stingy as all hell. Was there... Nope, that path did not have a route down below. So, looks like we're gonna have to get out this way. There we go. Okay. So, I'll get out of that, and then we'll get on these things here, and we'll actually take down the... Yeah, I think if you take down the teeth, then they will give you some bonuses in the inside. I think another one is a honeycomb piece? There we go. Clanker swallowed reward. Yep, there's our reward right here. That's the last Jiggy for this stage. Now we just need to worry about the rest of the, Nope, that was just a Mumbo token. Now I'm really in a pickle on where we need to find... Where we need to find the other honeycomb piece. It's gotta be around here somewhere. You think it would have been up there, hidden amongst everything else, but nope. Gonna be back in the first room? Yeah, so looks like we're gonna be having to do some sidetracking in this stage. To actually locate all the other Jiggy, well no, all the other music notes. And that of the other honeycomb piece. It's gotta be somewhere in this stage. Yeah, it's gotta be somewhere that I'm just not looking at. And whatever you do, Double R, do not leave the stage whatsoever. Not until you get everything. Or am I just overthinking it and it's inside? I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, nope. It was too good to be true. Yep, it was too good to be true. I thought it probably might have been in one of those sewer covers, but unfortunately it's not. And it would have been nice if it was up here too, but apparently not! Oh, that was not that hard. Oh, at least there's that we can get. Oh, geez, come on! Would be nice if that was actually inside that hole, but I highly doubt it. If it was, then it's like, how in the world are you supposed to get that? Yeah. No, Harmful Design, I'm actually playing this on the Nintendo 64, but I'm actually using a SCART cable to actually portray the image through an HDMI output. So that's why you actually see it in its, and what it originally looked like. Oh. Thank you. Actually, I think I got that one. Memory serves me correctly. The first submerged one? Yeah, if you're talking about this one, yeah. This should be where I got the first honeycomb piece, was in here. Unless if you mean there's another pipe underneath that... Because I don't see any other pipes. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. There it is. I see it. Oh, man. They really thought their stuff through, didn't they? Yes, they did. So I'm missing both of them in Trove Cove, but where? Okay, so we are missing some jiggies elsewhere. Let's see how many we have. Oh, just 5 of them? Did I not check in the left this time? If I can go in here, maybe they're in here. Oh my god, yes they are. Last place I would never thought to have looked. Oh, alright, so we're done with that. Now we can get out of Dodge. And we're gonna go back into Trove Cove and we'll see if we can find the honeycomb pieces. Let's check the view totals here. Yeah, we didn't get any in Trove Cove, my god. Man, I'm really not in my A game when it comes to this game tonight, it seems. Harmful Design, I said that I'm looking forward to Ukulele, but for which version, it's either between the PS4, Wii U, or possibly even the PC release. I think this game is coming out on PC, if I'm not mistaken, but if I wanted to go for nostalgia purposes, with how Rare did games back then I would definitely say the Wii U. But with the game now being delayed in 2017, well, then again, they didn't say that a Wii U version was coming, so... Or, I mean, an NX version is coming, so... Yeah, so... Maybe the Wii U version, but who knows? Okay, so... We're gonna head back into Trove Cove. We'll see where those, So we're gonna... go down and actually get those... honeycomb pieces, and then we'll have 7 honeycombs to actually make us a new thread of life. And then we will go to the front and smash Grunny's face to actually get that 4th Jinjo piece inside of her lair, and then we'll call it closed from there. Okay, now it's just a matter of trying to find the Jiggy. But it's just a question is where. Oh, there's the first one. So there's number 1. Hey, Shark Breath, get out of here. If I had to remember correctly where the next one is, it's probably gonna be in that one spot that I saw that lone... where I saw that lone box floating in the ocean there. But I'm gonna have to make a long trek just to get it. I got all the jiggies. I don't need you guys anymore. I'll go away. Flame Chocobo, I don't think they mentioned anything about an NX version at this time, from what I heard. Oh, there it is! Found it! Got him. So yes, we got all 6 of the honeycomb pieces to form a new health point. So let's go back inside Gruntilda's lair, grab that last Jiggy for this episode, and then we'll call it close from here. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this fun time that I had tonight playing through a game I'm sure a lot of you quite enjoy from your childhood. And I know I did, because I needed to actually get back to doing some live streams at some capacity. And, you know, I actually did a live stream, 103% live stream of Donkey Kong Country 3 back on Saturday. So if you check out my Twitch account, it's twitch.tv/RRPGReviews in lower caps. If you go and take a look at that and view the live stream to your heart's content, then go, by all means, go ahead. And even my former co-hosts of the 40S Audio podcast all joined me for that, and we had a lot of fun time just kind of BSing around with each other while I was playing through that game at 100%. So yeah, definitely go take a look at that if you can, or I'll even put a link in the description once as I complete this episode. So anyways, let's grab this Jiggy, and then we'll call it close for this episode. There we go. So yeah, got this. So we got all that, and we got 300 notes. We have 30 Jiggies so far, and we have 7 honeycomb life pieces. So yes, we got that all completed in a day's work, so, or in an evening's work, that is. So, like I said, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. I know I did, and I will definitely keep you up to date on when when we're going to get on with part 2, but I'll have to see how my schedule goes along with that. Who knows, maybe we'll actually do it tomorrow, but I'm not entirely certain. But for all of you who managed to join in on this live stream, I definitely thank you from the bottom of my heart. We'll definitely do this again sometime in the future. And until the next time, when we get to part 2, when we go to Bubble Gloop Swamp, Freeze Easy Peak, and Gobi's Desert, I take it, then we will actually go and get another 30 Jiggies and 3 more Jiggies inside of Gruntilda's lair. So anyway, guys, have a good night tonight, and thank you all for watching, and I'll definitely see you on the flip side for when I do another episode of this Let's Play. So this is Double RPG signing off, and I'll catch you later. Peace!